Up on top of the rocks, though, the mist kind of dissipates a little bit, allowing you to see who's up there. It's Strahd. He's sitting on some rocks, looking out westward on Yester Hill. He's up here. He's prone. You guys are down here. He hasn't noticed you, or so it seems. What do you guys want to do?
I'll go talk to Strahd.
Okay. Is everybody following Mist as she breaks ranks? Now, Strahd is considered prone, so you have disadvantage on a range attack. But now that he's sitting right next, and Mist, you kind of come up. You sit right next to Strahd.
Sure.
You sit right next to. He seems like he's sort of just ignoring you. He's like mesmerized, looking out. He's obviously he knows you're here. He's known you're here for how long? He's not surprised by you at all. But I'll show you the picture. He looks out west, into. Everybody needs to make a history check. It shimmers. I gotta play some music. And Strahd is just sitting there looking out at this city. And he looks over at Mist. And he says, beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
It is where I came from before I became king here.
Do people still live there?
I don't know. After the last war, I do not know what Bull decided to do with it. We sided with Bull during the war. I know that this city is not real, but the gods and Bull taunt me with it, I suppose.
So you go back to it if you could.
I don't know. Maybe.
As beautiful as it is.
I sit here for hours some days, looking out at it.
Why look at something that you can't get to?
He looks over at Ireena. He's like, because you must try. He wants Ireena to come closer.
I'll come up. Yeah.
So you move right next to him, and he says, he looks over at Ireena, he's like, I've been watching you.
I know.
Making sure these peasants do not hurt you.
They would want to hurt me?
I don't know. They tried to attack one of my brides already. Fortunately and thankfully you did not. Very respectfully of you, milady. He stands up and he approaches Ireena. He gets in close and he tries to reach out for your hand as he kind of gestures down as a sign of royalty. What do you do? Marcus, you can see this. By the way, whoever's down there, you guys can see this.
I take his hand in courtesy.
And he kind of, his hand is ice cold, as you're not wearing gloves or anything. And he kisses the top of your hand, and he, just lets it go. And he says, "What can I do for you, milady?"
Well, I guess we're all wanting to know what you're doing up here tonight. Or today, I guess. Looks like night because of fog.
Well, I have to create this so I am not harmed in my perfect body.
Of course, of course.
We're here for a ritual of some kind, if that's what the mountain folk want to say, where they worship me as a god.
Right. And do you know anything about the druids that are up here?
They are peasant folk to us, milady. But
Alright.
A peasant to me, they worship me and they mean nothing to me. But if they want to share the admiration for me, well, what am I to say? He looks out the Grey Guard with you. And he says, strange, isn't it?
What's strange?
How cruel the gods can be.
Yeah.
Being immortal depends on your understanding of the term. Indeed, I can no longer be killed. But it is not all what folk imagine. Not dying does not mean not living your life eternally to the full. Mist, you're kind of there too. If you want to chime in, and I'll be my guest. Sinros and Mallory as well.
That sounds really sad.
Some would call it a curse. But I wouldn't call it that. But I'll put it this way. You must be careful for what you wish for, lest your wish be granted.
Then are you unhappy?
He looks over at Ireena. He's like, your and I fates are intertwined.
What do you want with her?
I want her to be my bride.
You have 3 or 4.
But you already have wives. I don't want to share. That sounds like some tomfoolery to me.
You should be honored that the god is proposing to you in the first place.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
And you think to yourself, this is not the first time he's proposed to you. It doesn't make sense, but you feel it deep within your soul. Something is wrong.
Has this happened before?
Are you asking the DM or are you asking?
No, I'm
Strahd?
asking Strahd. Does this happen before? I'm feeling very much deja vu right now.
It has happened many times. For you do not even know who you are. Ireena.
Yes.
And he pulls out. He pulls out something out of his patch. Your beetle, by the way, just kind of flew off. You don't know where. It's quite windy around here. The beetle is lost. He looks over at Ireena. He pulls out some earrings. Beautiful. Befit of a princess or a queen. And he says, a token of my goodwill. And he hands them to you. These are your earrings.
Okay.
You've had these earrings before, but you don't know how or why, but you feel like they found the rightful place with you. I will show you a picture of them. And as you touch them, they bend. You feel something magical about them. And he says, he takes your hand, he's like, do you have any other questions for me, child?
I don't think that I do. If Mist or Sinros wants to ask you anything, now would probably be the time.
What else is everyone doing?
Then will look over to the city and try and copy it with a minor illusion, just for the fun of it.
Charming. He looks over at you. Mallory, what are you doing?
I'm just cowering, I guess. That's all she does.
He wants to take your hand, Ireena. Let me pull out the earrings first. Now, we have a change in the rules. Attunement takes 1 round, but this is a hero's artifact that he's handed you. I will link it personally to Ireena. I just linked it to you.
Got it.
You think to yourself, something is wrong. He holds out his hand and he's trying to take your hand. I'll let you read through it for a minute, though, if you want to. What else is everyone doing? Let's go down to the bottom of the hill. Marcus, Noni, and Esmeralda, what are you guys doing? You're still there, just taking it in? It's too windy for you guys to hear what the commotion is all about.
Yeah, I'm just staying down there.
Okay. Okay. You touch the earrings. You've had them before in your possession.
Am I able to perceive her reactions?
She seems a little stunned, obviously.
Wow.
She says, "Do you wish to see the ritual?
What ritual?
These mountain folk wish to serve us, you and I. And if you join me, you will become a god, just like me."
As you can imagine, I will still have to think about it. Because
Do you take his hand?
I know nothing. I will, sure.
And he takes your hand. And he's kind of guiding you into the circle. What is everybody else doing?
Can I take Mist's hand and, like, bring her with me?
Mist, what
Or
do you
on,
want to
like,
do?
a train?
I'll go with her.
Mist, we'll say, is you've kind of gestured to Mist. What is everybody else doing? You see them? You guys have lost sight. The other group has lost sight of them now.
I'm upside down. That's fine.
The bottom group, so you have to decide now if you want to kind of move up, because you can no longer target Strahd, as he's now not here anymore. If I actually got in a position, you know, I could
I tell Esmeralda, it's like the fortune teller warned us that people would turn and change over time. I was like, what do you know about this, given the fact that you've been born and raised and know everything about undead?
Well, I think it's more the area we are in that turns people. This mist, something about this entire place isn't right. Now them, I think just watching their interactions and not hearing what they're saying, it seems as if they may have fallen into Strahd's almost trap he laid for them, and he may have convinced them things that he shouldn't have. I think we should try to follow.
Okay, I'll follow you.
While this
Can
has
I
been going on, you not noticed anything odd around the circle? Sorry.
Let's make a general perception roll with Peanut.
Do we see them when we're like right here?
Yeah, you guys have come up to the base of the hill now, and you're kind of closer, and you can look in now. And
I don't wanna
Strahd
enter
quickly
the
looks
circle.
back. He notices that you're there. Strahd is very observant.
Alright, you got a whole 5.
And he just nods at Marcus a little bit as he waves to him.
For those who don't know, if you just click on the box next to stuff, it'll roll whatever it is for you.
Yes, you just should click on the box. What did you
Whatever, so
roll?
It's like deception.
A 4.
just click
You don't
on-
notice anything out of the unusual place, unusualness. So Strahd has Ireena's hand, and you see this almost like, I want to say effigy, but it's like obviously this is the best model I could find of it. It's ginormous, probably 30 or 50 feet tall. A giant spear is pierced through the center of it. It's built with like twigs, sticks, and things like that. You recognize the wood. It's built from the Gilhannis tree of some kind. Check out this cool effect, guys. As you get closer. See that? You guys, the light. And over in this direction, so here we have like another opening over here, but down the ways, you see it. It's a giant tree. The tree's roots sprawl up. There's like 2 hills. This is the first hill, which goes into this mountainside, right? Down this direction, which is south, there it is, the Gilhannis tree. It's a giant tree. It must be 70, 80 feet tall, which is like 7 stories tall. And you're in a giant circle. These stones are extremely old in general. Obviously, just being stones, but whoever built this, it's kind of like Stonehenge in a certain way. Noni, you know that druids built this, right? Like it's a sacred area connected to nature. And you feel it, Noni. There's this, the amber is close by.
Do I know where it is?
You'd have to get into the circle to maybe get a better reading. The roots of this tree sprawl up into this stone circle. I can't put them out on the map, like the figures, but imagine like this sort of like web locking of trees. Amboricius, you can't see her. And then as soon as Cinderos, you come here, your peanut. We're just gonna say peanut. The last image you see of Peanut is Amboricius grabs Peanut and snaps his neck.
Well, that's not very nice.
Nobody knows it though, because she's like Peanut's like scouting out behind some rocks or something. But you notice it because you're kind of in a visage and you just break out of it. Strahd hasn't really noticed it though, because he's pretty enamored with Ireena. His eyes flicker from like red to his dark colored eyes. And he points up at this ginormous effigy with, again, a spear that's dripping blood in the center of it. And he says, "Crude, isn't it?"
Come upstairs.
But when you have peasants that worship you like they do to me, child, and eventually they will to you, for you and I are connected to this place. For I wish to see Greygard once again. It is one of my dreams. For I am just like you. I cannot escape here either. But I am the god here, so you could call it a curse or a blessing. What do you guys do?
Rose, it's any magic happening here. Just general arcana stuff. Not necessarily like,
You want to get a little closer to the effigy, maybe, and look at that spear?
no, not necessarily. From where he was.
Okay. Make an arcana roll. Vines, mud, and stuff, roots come up around the stones. The stones are not, obviously, they're very shiny and pretty looking, but they're not as clean and prestigious, pristine as they're on the battle map, if you want to use some of the theater of the mind.
Can I tell?
And he says, I am a god. He says, look. He points to the sky, and lightning strikes right in front of the effigy. He says, even your druid wishes she had my powers. He's just talking to Ireena.
Ireena just hears, "Give it time, give it time."
We're not there yet. It'll take a while.
He says, and it's coming back to you, who you were, who you are, as you fondle the rings. And he says, put them on.
Do I know I'm gonna be safe?
From putting on
Again?
the earrings?
Yeah, like everything.
Define safe.
Screw it, I put them on.
You put them on and they feel great, you know, so they bestow the magical effects that I had listed there for you.
Okay.
The wind howls. What do you guys do? He says, shall we begin the ritual?
What exactly is the ritual?
These peasant folk wish to honor me with this effigy of some kind.
They're going
And
to burn it?
they do what they can to enact whatever they want, and who knows the simple-minded nature of these people.
Can we see the crystal from where we're at?
What crystal?
Like the thing we're here for? You said it was
The
here.
amber?
Yeah.
You can't get a divine sense like Noni can. Like Noni being a
Okay.
druid, it's a druidic thing, so
Okay, no, I was just wondering if it was in visual line of sight. If it's not, I don't even care.
Could I tell anything about the magic happening?
you rolled a 9 now. You'd have to get maybe closer to look at. Sorry, go ahead, Noni.
Can I run around the outside and see if I can get a fix on it?
Yeah, where do you want to move to? Want to move like over there? It's coming from the Gehenna tree down the mountain.
The Gehenna tree?
Yeah, remember I described there was a tree back over here this way? It's not on this particular battle map. It's a connected battle map. Do you understand the locale of everything?
Not really, but it's fine.
Okay, so here we're on one giant hill here called Yester Hill. Down on Yester Hill, if we go this way, we head south based on the compass I put out. There's another hill, which has, you see it, there's a giant tree. It's about 70 feet tall. It's made out of, the roots of the tree come up into the hill. The roots are sprawling all throughout this this magical druidic circle. Does everybody understand what's going on? Or did I fail as a DM to describe everything?
I got it.
And as soon as Noni is like traveling around this little area, out of the mud, very well disguised, a man emerges. Like camouflaged inside of the stone almost. He's like a mountain folk. He's basically butt naked almost. You know, he just has, because he's camouflaged himself with mud, kind of like Rambo, right? Coming out of the mud or whatever, or the Predator thing with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he comes forward to Strahd, and he bows before him. And Strahd just like acknowledges him a little bit. He says, "You may." He speaks to him in, common. And he says, "Arise." And he rises up. And he says, Do you wish to see power? He looks over at Ireena.
Do I wish to seek power?
Do you wish to see power? True power.
See power. Sure. Why not? Let's see.
What is everybody else doing? I'm looking at reactions of people. Esmeralda. Are you kind of, where are you at, Esmeralda? Did you move your character a little bit? Oh, you're still standing back there.
Yeah, I'm still back there.
Okay, Senros backs up a little bit.
I don't like how chill Ireena is.
What else are we gonna do at this point?
Okay,
Mist honestly is just really enthralled by it. Like she wants power.
You wish to see power, cleric. He looks over at Mist.
Have we been able to hear their conversation?
You have to get closer. You have to kind of get over here.
So we haven't heard anything.
Nope. It's too windy. Even where Noni's standing, I mean, Noni has advantage on smell, but not sight and hearing. She has to get closer. It's windy. Unnaturally windy. As the thunder strikes into the mountainside.
Marcus, I think we should find this stone while they have Strahd distracted. I think we should follow Noni. She probably can figure out where the stone is.
Sure.
So you guys are going to try to go to the Gilhennis tree. You're going to split the party up.
Oh, is that where the stone is?
You have
Yeah,
to
it's on a
split the party.
different map.
The Gilhennis tree is probably 3 turns away if you were to dash. Maybe one turn away.
1.5 if you sprint.
Well, yeah, if you just sprint, maybe 2 turns.
Okay. Yeah, let's start going over there.
Noni, what are you doing? I don't know if Noni's down to do that.
Yeah, it's up to Noni because I don't know where it is. Only Noni knows where, that it's over there.
Well, there's things that's important to you and there's things that's important to me, so she's gonna go.
Noni goes down the mountainside. You guys are splitting the party up. You guys sprinting or just walking?
Noni has 50-foot movement normally, so
That's
she's
right.
just action bonus action running.
Dashing down the mountainside. As you're kind of getting, we won't move you completely there, but we'll just, again, we have to kind of cut scene. We're going to cut back, and he's looking over at Mist, and he says, "Do you wish to see power, cleric?"
Yes.
As you kind of get closer, I guess you're standing there. This mountain man is like here. He says, "Are you enthralled by me?"
Yes.
It is not. It's very easily to be enthralled by a god, is it not? One whose body is so perfect. He looks over at Ireena. Would you not agree?
Sure, yeah.
Is my body not perfect enough for you now?
Mine?
Am I not young enough for you?
You?
Ireena?
Oh. I mean, yeah, sure.
What do you do, Mist? What are you saying? No, Mallory's just standing back, just looking, I guess. Feel free to chime
Yeah,
in.
Mallory's
Mallory.
dying in the inside. It's like, can you stop talking about how pretty you are? We don't care. She's like the asexual and the groom's just like, fucking why? Also, she's terrified because I can't do it. I can't shoot.
Well, Miss being a Ganassi, she's half genie. Genies are powerful as fuck, so gaining more power.
It is amusing. It's powerful. Your god has abandoned you, has she not?
Yes.
She fought on the side of the forces of light in the last war, and obviously, he looks around. He kind of releases your hand when he does it as he looks around to the environment. She failed. Asbul is the new god now of the land.
Don't
Why
want to
the-
give up on her.
Well, why don't you prove it to me?
What?
Kill him.
Kill who?
This commoner. Show me. If you wish to have power, you must do what I say.
Says.
We'll cutscene. I'll let you think about that while we cutscene to the other group. With Noni and them, you guys are getting closer. There's a few twig blights. They're actually kind of up. It would be an encounter of some kind, and they appear. There's like twigs and everything down there. It would be dangerous to approach the tree without the full party. There's monsters guarding the tree for some reason, waiting or something like that. Do you want me to? Basically, if you start going further towards the tree, we have to roll initiative, and you 3 would have to fight. What do you want to do? You 3 can decide. Those should be Marcus, Noni, and Esmeralda. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide.
You can hit him from distance and always run from him.
Yeah, I have a bow.
There's they had the needle blights too, guys, so they could shoot back at you.
Okay. But, sorry, I couldn't hear you. What?
The needle blights, remember from last game, the ones I could shoot as well. You're thinking to yourself, probably this is not a good idea. And you think back to what the fortune teller told you, right as you're trying to, your greed of getting the amber back, and you remember holding the hands about how you would need everyone. And you maybe, as a spot of wisdom, what do you want to do?
Well, I understand what the GM wants me to do.
What do you want to do? I mean, we can pull out the battle board. Everybody else can take a break.
Is there any way that, like, can we tell how close all of the monsters and...
Oh, by the way, next to the tree, next to it, there's a stump of some kind, because there's other trees and things that are around you guys. There's an axe. Someone put an axe there, next to the tree, conveniently. What was your question, Esmeralda?
Like, was there any way... How close are all the, needle blights and everything? Like, would we be able to stealth past them?
We'd roll a stealth roll, and then I would assume you'd be, like, probably 60 feet away. I mean, what are you trying to do? Because you can get a sneak attack on them if you want.
We'll get to the amber.
But you don't know there's, like, twigs and sticks all around.
Oh, so we can't, like, see necessarily.
Yeah, let me
where
describe
they are.
this a little bit. There's a 70-foot tree. Around this, being observant, there's just a bunch of twigs. Now, the twig blights can appear like twigs if they're motionless. So there could be 100 or like a dozen of these twig blights guarding this evil vampiric tree. We're going to cut back to the other group because you guys are thinking about it. Mist, what do you do?
I am going to turn to the guy and shoot him with guiding bolt.
You're going to shoot Strahd?
No, not Strahd. The guy, the weird.
You want
dude beside
to
me.
guiding bolt? Does that do damage?
Yes.
I would just like.
He sees you begin to cast a spell. He says, "Use your weapon."
Oh. Okay.
He's like, He's like, "Why don't you use mine?" And he pulls out his sword that he has. When he unsheaths it, electrical sparks fly from it. And he looks. He's like, "Watch." He points to the sky with it, and he summons a bolt of lightning. The bolt of lightning hits the sword, crackles against it, and he looks at you. He's like, "It's easy to be amused by such power." And he kind of moves it with grace, hands it to you. He's like, "Kill him."
She will take the sword and she will.
Before she does anything, I would like to say that Sinros would not want to see Mist like murdering people on behest of Strahd.
Do you want to convince Mist of something? You want to talk with Mist a little bit? Strahd has handed you his sword, let's just say.
Yeah.
He would like to have some mage hands kind of pushing against her to stop her as he just Mist, I don't know that you are thinking right. That is we don't know what that man is here for, and let's not kill him quite yet, please.
Let's move Sinris a little closer, like right here. Mallory is right here.
But where?
The mountain man, his chest is laid bare. He has a great axe on him. But his eyes are closed. His chest is bare. He's waiting to be struck down. He kneels down, waiting for you to strike him. And you think back to the Durst Manor with the altar, and back then, and when you tried to swing at them in the illusion, and you think to yourself, maybe this is a step towards the dark path.
But power. Did I feel the sword's power?
You feel it as you grip it. Electrical energy flows through it. And you think to yourself, why the hell would this vampire need a sword of some kind?
Mist.
You can speak to someone telepathically, by the way, as well, if you don't want to speak out loud
Okay.
with your telepathy. Strahd is just amused seeing what you want to do.
Yes, Mallory.
I might have to go get like a wrench.
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't get power if it is that easy. I'd go. I don't know. I feel like if you actually earned it instead of just like, here, take it. I'm just like, I don't know. It seems too easy. Just saying.
Power at a price.
Ireena, what
grew
are you
up-
doing?
I grew
What am
up.
I doing?
Yeah.
I'm just looking on at seeing what Mist is doing.
Okay.
Looking at the guy just groveling at like her feet or God's feet or wherever he is, you know, just like this half naked like mountain man.
He's covered in mud and slime. He's just like a man of the mountains. Is the best way to
just a
describe, like a
sad little
barbarian.
naked guy.
Sad little naked guy. He looks strong as hell though. Like, I mean, he's built well. Who knows what their diet is? We'll cut back to
good
the
way.
as
The good
Mist
way
is
is not the
still
easy
pondering
one.
this choice. Let's switch back to the other group. What do you guys want to do?
Noni, this is up to you, but I think we should go back and make sure the others haven't fallen to Strahd already. And I don't think we can get past it just by ourselves, but I'm always willing to
We
try.
are the three most hardy people in the party. We might actually have a chance if it's only us three. Because that way we won't have to be protecting Mallory and Ireena. So we actually have a decent chance of making it out more alive.
Full sends then?
Marcus, do you have any thoughts?
I mean, right now you'd only see 3 of them. I mean, I think like 10 or 15 of them attacked me and didn't hit. So I mean, I'm fine with that if that's all you're seeing.
Yes, but we don't know how many else are in hiding.
Well, we could just shoot them from distance, and then if like just too many emerge, we can just turn and run.
Does the axe look like
And you
it's
think to yourself how like Roots came out before and like ensnared some of you guys. Tactically, it might get complicated. And I mean, there's always a risk. Like you always think you could run, but what happens if you can't?
Sounds like my conscience is telling me that this will be impossible.
It's not going to be impossible, but I'm just saying, like, you're saying one thing, like, oh, I could just run away, and I mean, I'm telling you, like, in the last battle, like, people were entangled.
Yeah, by a spell with range.
Okay. What do you guys want to do? I'm pulling up the map on World Anvil.
Yeah.
Let me know if we want to attack, so we can start the attack and have the other group take a break.
Say we go back and just see
Actually,
what
let's
happens.
switch back. You guys are taking your time. Something might happen. Let's go back to Mist, as you guys are still thinking about it. Mist, what are you doing? Strahd is starting to get impatient as you're holding his
stab
weapon.
him.
You
I
stab,
stab him.
stab the guy?
I stabbed the guy.
Yeah, Sinros is going to definitely push back those mage hands.
I am going to push
Uh,
against your mage hand.
So let's make opposing strength rolls. So Sinros and Mist.
Oh god, I have
Mist,
negative
the
one.
Strahd's sort of like lightning.
Well, I have to ask you, with telekinetic, I already have a DC save of 15.
So let's make a DC save. It's really like opposing strength rolls. But let's have, first of all, let's have Mist make a roll.
What am I rolling?
Just make a strength check. Strength. Yeah, it's a strength/athletics check.
Athletics.
You guys like this map? I designed it.
Rolled a 7 because I have a negative 1 in strength because I'm not strong.
What? Yeah. You pull it out, but like you don't know if it was the wind, and then you look over at Sinros, and he's like shaking his head a little bit. He like doesn't want you to do it. As the sword flings away, Strahd is like getting impatient. And he's like, now.
I'm gonna do it. I'll try again. Can I try again?
And Sinros, do you want to cast magic again?
I mean, these mage hands are just out there. They're like basically holding on to her shoulders, pushing her back.
Do I know that he's doing this? Can I feel that it's magic doing this?
I mean, you looked over at Sinros. He said he was shaking his head. So Sinros, it doesn't want you to do it.
I was muted. Can I use my mage hand to grab his mage hand?
You want her to strike the man?
Keep in mind,
I mean, she can do what she wants. You know?
Okay,
I
so
mean,
let's have
I don't want
Ireena make a
Strahd to
roll against Sinrose. As Sinrose is getting
for what?
bullied.
What am I rolling?
You're rolling and let's make a d20 roll.
Just
See
a
where-
D20.
Yep, let's see where we go with that.
Got it.
Because we're using counter magicking each other a little bit. 12. It's not high enough against Sinrose, who's
Yeah.
just a powerful, mage, illusionist.
His big hand.
And he has
tiny
a
hand.
telekinetic feat, so it's more improved. And so Sinrose is like invisible force is like pushing you away. Sinrose doesn't actually, I don't think, even gesture or anything. It's just like a will. It's like an at-will thing. Yeah, so it's like
Is
there's
it raining?
it's thundering. There's clouds and mist surrounding the hill. I'll do the thunder. Like, remember, he used the sword of lightning to actually call down the lightning. I'll allow you to make everybody to make one more roll. Let's have Ireena and Mist make one more roll. And Sinrose, do you want to counter, or do you want to let it happen?
I will hold an action. If she physically goes
Got a
to
12
strike this
again.
man down, I will cast Hold Person on her.
So we have 12 and 13. It's not enough to strike it like another force. And Strahd is too impatient now. He's like, weaklings. And he goes up and he goes up to Mist and he's like, I will not handle such insolence. And he holds out his hand to receive his sword back. My sword, please. And he is so pissed that you weren't able to do it. He attacks you, Mist.
You Sinrose, why? Why?
He hits you with the back of his hand, and I will make an attack roll. Now it's a called shot. He's trying to knock you out. What's your AC? I think I have it listed here.
14.
He hits you.
you.
The
Don't
first,
get me.
I actually have to add, he doesn't, you feel this wave of necrotic energy go over you. You take 25 points of damage, plus bludgeoning damage, so I didn't include it. It's a D8 roll. Or
Wait,
D6.
that what?
Now you've just taken over half your HP in one hit. As a wave of necrotic energy hits you. You let out a...
Can I go stab Sinrose?
No, because you've handed the sword back. You've just taken a massive hit. You actually have to make a Constitution saving throw. It's a non-critical, but it's half damage, as you've taken over half your HP in damage. Make a Constitution saving throw of a Hey, Mist has to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 15, or take 1 stack of exhaustion. Make your Constitution saving throw
I
now.
did. I rolled an 11.
You take 1 stack of exhaustion. As you collapse to your knees, Strahd, you hear the wind almost crack how quick he is. He's like, picks it up, and just as quick as he picked it up, he sheaths it just as quickly in almost a single action. And he's like, pathetic. He looks down at you, unworthy.
It's not my fault.
And he goes over to the bearded man, or the mountain man. But let's cut back to Noni and the other group. What are you guys doing? Yes, because something might have happened, but nothing happened.
So I was just saying, it's like, I think we should go back because they're saying my conscience is telling me that we won't be able to kill as many twig people that will come alive. So either we'll have our party back with us or we'll have a new party.
My conscience is also saying choo-choo, so we might as well go down back to the other party, yes. All right,
Okay.
let's turn around.
You guys turning around?
Yep.
I'm just trying to see. You guys see 3 blights that are just kind of guarding it. They've taken notice to you. They're larger than the other blights. They're medium-sized, but they look different. They might have different abilities and things like that. Noni, you can make a nature check to try to determine what this is. You feel it definitely as you've gotten kind of closer. What did you roll? I'm on the map. Battle map. You rolled a 5, so you don't know, like, you're trying to remember something maybe from the Deepwood Vale and the teachings from the Archdruids there. You can't remember it though.
I was clearly a very bad student. And
Maybe
there's
you were
something
drinking too
about them,
much
but I don't know what.
during that time. Did you guys head back up the mountain?
Well, I trust you, Noni. It's like this area is druid in nature, and we're dealing with undead.
So you guys head back up the mountain. As soon as all this time has happened, you guys head back. You see Strahd strike. You hear it as you kind of get closer through the howls of the wind. As you guys have kind of come to the outer edge of the circle here, I can try to move your guys' character to face it. You guys see Strahd strike it, and Mist's character, it lets out like a blood-curdling scream as she drops to her knees. You don't know what situation has arisen, but then you see just almost like a quickness, an extreme quickness. Strahd has retaken the sword as the mountain man is on his knees, waiting for something to happen. What do you guys do? I'm still with Noni and them as we're kind of merging the storylines back together.
Okay, I think it's time we just get out of here completely.
What do you mean?
I mean, I think we should grab the others and go back. We can come for the amber some other time. I don't know what's happening over there, but Strahd does not seem happy right now.
And as soon as you say that, Ampericius comes around the pillar side, kind of where you're at here, and she says, by all means, stay.
Oh, God.
You're missing the best part. And she like pulls out her gun. She like directs you to go inside the circle.
No. I want to see what happens, though.
He says, so you're just going to stand there? She has her gun drawn now. As part of her face is still singed, the rest of her body has healed.
How's your face?
She's like, what is Noni and Esmeralda doing?
I'm not moving.
Okay, so you guys are just looking in. She's satisfied that you're watching. Mist, what do you do? Mallory, when Ireena and that, you've seen Strahd now strike out at Mist and almost kill her in one hit. And drop her to her knees.
This fucking face, but I can't.
It's like, if you need someone to do it, do something, do it yourself, I guess. Or, he looks over to Ireena. Shall you try? He looks over at Ireena.
I mean, can Mist still do it, or is she unable to do it anymore?
I will not let that peasant of Voltun try again. He pulls out the sword, hands it to you. Do you take it?
I mean, since I know damn well Sinros ain't gonna do it, he's just gonna get
now
bitch slapped into the astral plane. I will.
As Strahd is trying to hand this sword to you, you get a feeling of just extreme unease. You know?
I do?
Yeah, I mean, I would say you get a feeling of uneasement. And you look back, your memory comes back to you. You're back in Ravenloft. You're on, like, a balcony overlooking. It's an overlook in Ravenloft. You're looking out, you can see the village of Barovia. It looks different than it does now, though. There's no mist. The sun is shining. And you feel like you want to take the sword and kill yourself. And then you come back to yourself, your senses. What do you want to do? Sinros, what are you doing?
Just
What are you
gonna
guys
say I'm
doing?
gonna use those hands to drag Mist away from Strahd a little bit.
I was gonna.
This is gonna kill you.
Can I talk to Strahd real quick and say, hey, can you explain to me a thing or two?
Have you taken the sword from him?
I mean, do I have it in my hands?
He's holding it out
It
for you.
sounds like. Sure, I'll take it if he explains something to me.
Says, what do you want to know?
Was the mist always here? And was I aware or alive? Did I know a time where the mist wasn't here, where Barovia wasn't all, like, gloomy?
He takes the sword, just kind of plops it into the ground. it sticks into one of the roots that's interwebbed into the floor, the ground. And he says, "Why do you ask such a strange question?"
Because it's kind of funny, really. I keep having these like flashbacks of times that I feel like I should remember, but I don't. And you being around a long time, I feel can maybe shed some light onto the situation that is going on inside of my head. Am I just crazy, or
Just because you do not understand the mechanics of how something works, it does not make it any less of a miracle. Which is just another word for bending. We're all kept alive by bending. Child, my bending is just a little different from yours. For you know too much now, don't you? It's all coming back to you, isn't it, Tatiana?
who?
You think to yourself, it's like a familiar name to you.
You know what? I don't want to know. I take the sword. I feel like this is a conversation we should be having a different day.
You take the sword. He has it plopped on the ground. His hand is on the sword. You want to take the sword from him now and stab this man. This innocent man. This innocent mountain man.
I mean, we were attacked by mountain people.
That is true.
And when you think about it, don't we hate the people that Strahd, or aren't we supposed to hate the people that Strahd worships? So, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to take the sword.
Do you hate them or do you hate me? He reaches out and touches your chin a little bit.
That is to be determined. I certainly don't hate you. I can't speak for the other members of my party. I am still learning. I'm still learning everything. As
Well,
you
I hate you,
imagine.
pretty face.
Just be nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab the guy.
He says, we've tried this before many times. He's talking to you before he hands you the sword. He says,
Okay.
you think I've not tried this before, Ireena, with you? To break the curse that holds this all together. I've tried dozens of times.
Dozens. Okay. Okay.
And
And
I'll
I
try
just-
a dozen more if it needs to. For you and I must be together forever to break the curse.
To break the curse? What curse?
He looks around. The curse that holds me here.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
She tries to stab him. I'm gonna have a minor illusion.
No, 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 no.
Or-
Sinus, I'm
Sinrose,
gonna
if you
stop
kill me, I will kill you in real life.
You almost got me killed, and I will make water around you and then freeze it to where you can't
I don't want to
move
have to
and do
roll up
shit.
another bard. So
I'm not gonna. It would be stupid.
He
to stop
says
you
he's trying to hand you the sword now, Ireena. What do you do?
stab him there.
Hey,
You're
babe.
gonna go.
Stab,
What do you guys do? Do you guys see him? She's trying to stab this mountain man. What are you guys doing here?
Stab him.
What is everyone doing as Ireena takes forth and Strahd looks on with amusement? He's like smirking a little bit.
I'm just watching.
Mist is gonna hold Sinrose down.
Smite the guy.
You stab it.
Yeah.
Is Sinrose gonna stop it again?
I just told you I'm. Oh, wait.
Kill the mountain man.
Sinrose, are you gonna try to
I don't
stop
think
it again?
Fuck it.
Please
Have her
stop.
make an intelligence 15 saving throw.
You're gonna
I have
attack.
to make an intelligence what?
It's not exactly an attack.
You're gonna attack me?
What are you doing,
It's
Sinrose?
not exactly an attack.
Strahd sees you casting magic, Sinrose, and he looks over at disappointment. He says, He looks directly at you. And he says, blood will be spilt one way or another here today, Gnome. Shall it be yours or this man's? Do you want to finish casting your spell? And we will roll initiative.
Do it. Don't you do it.
I'll save my second level spell for what's coming.
Ready?
Wise choice. Ireena takes the sword and slowly stabs the heart of this poor mountain man who has a great axe on him, though.
Can I twist it all around?
You twist it all around, and Strahd smiles in amusement.
Oh my god, stop!
Can I take his heart out?
He falls down. He collapses. The blood begins to seep into the roots of the tree here. And he says, and Strahd says, look. And he points towards the tree.
No.
Something is happening.
Uh-oh.
What is everyone doing?
Watching.
I think we fucked it up. Oh boy.
He asks for his sword back.
I give
Ireena.
his sword back. I was
And we
just
will
about to
take
say.
a 10-minute break.
All right.
I'm gonna get some ice cream.
I have no idea where this would go or what was happening, guys. So you guys all kind of surprised me a little bit. So let's just take a 10-minute break. Noni, do you have a question or what? You're just sitting there. No, he's like disappointed. Disappointed!
It's only so much Synros can do. Somebody else needs to step up.
I know. This is weird. I don't know what's going on. This is great.
Background now.
Yeah.
It's your
That's all I
memories
really
are starting
care
to
about.
come back. You feel it like this is not the first time you've been alive. You've been around many lives in Barovia. You've maybe your true age you don't know. I mean, right now you have the appearance of a young woman, but your life is cursed. And when you grabbed Strahd's sword, all you could think about was ending it again. And you don't want to kill yourself, but what Strahd's saying about how you and him are connected and how everything around is for a reason, there's something going on here. Again, maybe you could ask him, but it's just you're living a life of many lives. So out of the mud comes these mountain men again. And Strahd looks at them all. What is everyone doing?
Spoiler alert, is my armor shimmering?
The armor in Barovia is difficult to shimmer as it shimmers only in the light of the sun. The
In that
sun.
case, I wait.
The sun doesn't do anything. Your shield and sword are there, and some of the men come out of the stone as the blood is beginning to ooze out. It's been about one round, and the blood is beginning to be sucked up by the trees. What is everyone doing? Strahd takes back his sword in amusement from Ireena, who has stabbed a dead mountain man. He says, well, I think this tree needs some more blood. He says, kill everyone but Ireena.